I'm going to show you the 10 things that you need to have on hand to make your next move smooth and organized. Hi, I'm Sheila, and I've moved 10 times in the past 10 years. I know what it's like to move across town, across the country, across an international border, and back again. Every one of those moves we have DIY'd. We have never used a moving company, and all of those moves have involved multiple children, including children with special needs. I'm going to share with you the system that I've developed to stay organized and to make all of those moves as smooth as possible. This is the stuff I wish that I had known about before moving 10 times. If you were making a new recipe in the kitchen, you would first check to see if you had on hand the ingredients that you needed. It's the same thing with moving. I'm going to show you the system or the recipe, but first you're going to need the ingredients, and that's what these 10 things are. So let's get started. The first thing that you're going to need, not surprisingly, is boxes. Lots and lots of boxes. Now, there are a couple different ways to get boxes. There's the bougie way and the budget way. I'm going to show you both because depending on how much time you have available and what your budget is, you might need to mix and match these two options. Option one, the bougie way. So the bougie version is to buy boxes, and you might be surprised at how expensive boxes are. In fact, in the 10 years since we've been doing all these moves, we've seen the price of boxes go up like 5x what it used to be. So boxes can get expensive really fast. But the bougie version is good if you like all of your boxes to be the same shape and size, you want them all to look the same, you want them to be brand new, and or if you're just really short on time and you've just got to get this done, go grab some boxes, get packed today, you might have to buy boxes because you might not be able to find enough free ones to get everything done as quickly as you need to. Option two, the budget version, is to save all of your packages, all of your boxes that you might get in the mail if you order things online, and also ask all of your neighbors and friends to do the same, to give you their boxes every time they get a package. You can get a nice little stash of boxes going if you do this. Another way to get boxes on a budget is to go to local stores and ask them to give you their boxes from their shipments, and most of the time they'll do that for free. But here's some tips and tricks that I've learned about doing that. You want to do it as far in advance of your move as possible. So if you have a few weeks out before your move, now's the time to be hitting up those stores and asking them, when do you get your shipments and who do I need to speak to about saving boxes for me? When they give you a day and time to show up, be on time, because if you're late, they might go ahead and crush the boxes or they might give them to someone else. There are multiple sizes of boxes, small, medium, large, extra large. And then there are also two different thicknesses of boxes. So you have your regular box, this is a small regular, and then you have heavy duty, this is a small heavy duty. And this is the difference of what they look like side by side. So this is the small regular and this is the small heavy duty. You can see how much thicker the cardboard is on this one. The heavy duty boxes are good if you're going to be moving things a long distance or if you're going to be taking stuff in and out of storage multiple times. Maybe you have kind of a complicated move or you're having to ship some stuff or store some stuff, then you might want to get a few heavy duty boxes. Let's talk about specialty boxes that you can buy. There are wardrobe boxes that have a metal rod across the middle where you can hang your clothing. And I have found those to be a waste of money unless you have really expensive, nice clothing that you want to hang up in there, then maybe you want to have a couple of wardrobe boxes. But for me, I don't have a lot of fancy clothes and I have a whole system on how to pack clothing without using the wardrobe boxes. But there is one type of specialty box that I would recommend that you get, and that is a TV/picture box. They come in multiple sizes, so you would want to measure your TV before you buy one. But the good thing about these TV and picture boxes is that they have these foam corners. So you're going to put one of these foam corners on each corner of your TV, and it's going to protect it. The box also comes with some wrapping, like some bubble wrap or foam wrap that you can then further protect your TV with. And the box is in an accordion shape where one piece fits inside another. And so it's really going to be customizable to the shape and size of your TV. Same thing if you have a heavy or expensive mirror or any really nice artwork, you're going to want to go ahead and invest in a TV or picture box for those items just because it's really going to protect them in transit. If you have smaller pieces of art from the wall, then we will get to how to pack those later. But I'm talking about the big things like big mirrors, big TVs. I would definitely recommend a TV or picture box just to protect your investment with those pieces. And while you're shopping for boxes, you might notice some of these. I highly recommend getting some mattress Mattress Protectors. This is going to protect your mattresses from dirt and also from moisture. If, like what happened to us one time, you are moving and it starts pouring rain, nobody wants a wet mattress. So I would invest in a mattress protector for every bed that you're moving. And if you have box springs, you're going to want one for the box springs as well. They come in different sizes, so just make sure you're getting the right size, but these are definitely worth the investment. Now, as far as the number of boxes, I have found a good rule of thumb is for every 1,000 square feet that you're moving, you're going to need about 100 boxes. That sounds like a lot of boxes, but you would be surprised at how quickly they fill up. You're always going to want more smalls and mediums than large and extra large. I would recommend for every 1,000 square feet that you're moving, you get 100 boxes, and I would break it down this way. About 30 small boxes, about 40 medium boxes, about 20 large boxes, and about 10 extra large boxes. And that should give you plenty to work with. But notice that we're really heavy in the small and medium range because that's mostly what you're gonna need is small and medium boxes. But obviously it depends on how much stuff you have. If you have a lot of things, then you might need more boxes. If you're a minimalist and you don't have that much stuff, you might not need that many boxes. This is just a really good average rule of thumb. For every 1,000 square feet that you're packing up, you can estimate that you're going to need about 100 boxes. The main thing to keep in mind with boxes is that it is impossible to have too many. Whether you do the bougie version and you pay for boxes or the budget version and you get free boxes, you can't have too many. If you use the budget version and you have all these free boxes and you get to moving day and you have extras left over, then great, you can recycle them or pass them along to someone else. If you buy boxes and you have extra left over, great, you can return them to the store. As long as you haven't written on them or put any tape on them, if they're still flat in new condition, you can return them for a refund usually. So either way, you're not gonna have an issue with having extra boxes. The problem comes when you underestimate how many boxes you need and you run out, and then it's a frantic dash to try to figure out where you're gonna get more boxes. That is not a fun feeling. It takes time that you can't really afford to spend that day, and it also adds to your stress, which we don't wanna do. We're trying to take stress off of you instead of making this even more chaotic than it already is. So however many boxes you think you need, get some more. The second thing that you're gonna need is tape. Lots and lots of tape. The boxes do you no good without tape. The tape does you no good without boxes. You need both, and you need a lot of both. Just like with the boxes where I said you can never have too many, it's the same with tape. You can never have too much tape. If you get the small ones, you're gonna be running out a lot. So this is less convenient because you're gonna be constantly refilling it, which is gonna slow you down. If this is all you can find, then that's great. I recommend this size if you can find it. And it doesn't matter if you have just this dispenser or if you have the one with the nice fancy foam handle tape gun. Either way, this size roll is what I recommend. And I really like this brand, the Scotch brand. This is not sponsored, but I really like this brand. I find that it holds better than some of the others. Whatever you do, you don't want to use masking tape on your boxes because they're going to come apart. The tape is going to get stuck on things. The whole box is going to open and you're going to have a mess. You want to make sure that you are using shipping tape like this clear kind of tape. You can buy a big package of this at Costco. I would recommend at least 6 to 8 rolls for every 1,000 square feet that you are packing up. Again, you'd be surprised at how quickly you run out of tape, and you do not want to be scrambling for tape at the last minute. And as far as dispensers, I would recommend that you have multiple. So I would get at least 2 of the dispensers, because if someone is coming to help you pack and you're in separate rooms, it's so much better if you each have your own tape than if you're running back and forth trying to share one roll of tape. Item number 3 on our list of supplies is packing material. Again, there is a bougie version and a budget version of packing material. So here are a couple of options of things if you want to buy packing material. There's packing paper and bubble wrap. But for the budget version, you can use newspapers and bubble mailers. I don't love using newspaper because the print rubs off all over me and it's messy. But if this is what you have available to you, then great, use newspaper. The more of these you have, the less of this you will need. If you save packing material from packages that you get in the mail, then that's gonna mean that you will have to buy less of the packing paper. Now you can use linens and clean socks and clean shirts to wrap your breakables in, but I find that I still end up needing some packing material. So even if you're going the budget version of this, I would still recommend going ahead and buying a package of this packing paper and then just holding on to it to see if you need it. If you don't need it and it's still wrapped up like this, you can return it for a full refund. If you do need it, then you haven't had to make an extra trip to the store. Item number 4 on our list is black markers. I recommend just starting fresh with a brand new package. That way you know that nobody has left the cap off and they all still work. But you definitely need multiple black markers, not just one. If you already have a ton of black markers, just test them to make sure that they all still work. But when in doubt, I would just start with a fresh pack like this, so you have at least 4 black markers and you know you're good to go. Item number 5 is scissors. So I just grabbed scissors out of my kids' art kit and I use those. Or you can buy fancy box cutters. It doesn't really matter. I've never really seen the need for fancy box cutters, but if you have some or you want to go buy some, great. But you're gonna need a good pair of scissors, especially when you get to the other end of your move and you're unboxing things and breaking the boxes down. A pair of scissors is gonna save your hands, and it's also gonna save a lot of time. Item number 6 on our list is painter's tape, not masking tape. You wanna make sure it's this blue painter's tape, and it doesn't matter how wide or how skinny it is, but you wanna get blue painter's tape, and I would recommend at least 2 rolls of it. Item number 7 is colored duct tape. You want a different color roll of duct tape for every room in the new house, the house that you are moving into. Maybe you're moving into a place sight unseen. I've done that multiple times. So it's okay if you've never even seen the place that you're moving into, but as long as you know how many bedrooms it has, you're gonna need a different color roll of duct tape for each of those bedrooms. You're also gonna need a separate color for the kitchen, for the bathroom, if there's an office, if there's a garage. Each of those living spaces gets its own color, and it's super important to have a separate color for each one. So different colors of duct tape depending on how many rooms are in the new place. Sometimes when you go to the store, you can only find a couple of basic colors of duct tape, so I will put a link down below to places where you can get colored duct tape. You may have seen other people recommending using little colored circles on the boxes or using a different colored Sharpie on each box. I've tried all of those methods, and I'm here to tell you the one that works is the one with the colored duct tape. You need a different color duct tape for every room of the place that you're moving into. And in the next video, I'm gonna be teaching you about my color coding system so that your move goes really smoothly, nothing gets put in the wrong place, everybody knows what goes where on moving day without you having to stand there and point people in the right direction. They just know where to go and they get it there. Item number 8 that you're gonna need is garbage bags. You're gonna need 2 kinds of garbage bags, white ones and black ones. For the white ones, I recommend getting some 13-gallon kitchen bags. They can be white or clear, doesn't matter, but you want white or clear 13-gallon bags. And you want some big black garbage bags. So these are 33-gallon lawn bags. Something around that size would work as long as it's black. You're gonna need some black bags and some white bags. Item number 9, you're gonna need some white copy paper. I recommend 100 to 150 sheets of white copy paper. And if this is something you already have on hand, great. But if you're like me, you're gonna need to hide it because your people will steal it and use it for paper airplanes and every other thing before you need it on moving day. So if you already have some white copy paper, set it to the side so nobody steals it. But if you don't have any, I would just go buy a pack of white paper. I'm gonna be sharing a bonus tip at the end, but right now, item number 10 is rubber bands. Do you need this many? Probably not, but who doesn't love a good rubber band ball? For the bonus tip, as you start acquiring your supplies, you want to make sure that you have them all together in one spot. You can use a tote like this, or you can use just a cardboard box as long as it's clearly labeled and no one accidentally packs it. But that's where you're going to keep all of your colored duct tape and your painter's tape and your packing tape and your Sharpies and scissors. If you keep it all together in one spot like this, you can carry it around with you from room to room, and it makes everything so much easier. You might be wondering what's up with all the colored duct tape. In this next video, I'm going to show you my color coding system so that everything is always in its place and you know exactly where all of your stuff is up until moving day and beyond. And your move is super organized. I'll meet you there.